cool.
Hello, hello, hello. Yo, yo, yo. I have no idea why his shit's not working, but it's not working, MG.
It's all right.
It's okay.
I blame the Michigan of it all.
You know what? It could be something because his audio works and then it just cuts off. So, all right.
I do miss hearing him in our headset, just because the guys don't know this, but when we're talking in our headset, it's like the Vince McMahon thing, where he's like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, he's just telling us to fuck off.
Fucking fucks. Fucking cocksucker.
Under Rich.
He's so rude. Hey, everybody. Hey, chat room.
He's very rude.
Hey, Kyle. Hey, Cadillac. Suncast is here.
He's like, you guys think you're doing a good podcast? Well, I got news for you, you fucking bozos.
Yeah, I don't know why he gets like that. He constantly gets like that.
He gets like real upset. He's the one in charge, guys. I don't know what we're doing.
Andrew, did you hear me?
No, what'd you say?
There's a little bit of gap under Rich.
Oh, under Rich's video?
Yeah.
Yeah, stretch me out a little bit.
Whoa.
Wow. Little humble brag here. That cap shield, my favorite prop that I've ever gotten for anything.
The Captain America shield? How much
Mm-hmm.
was that? That's an awesome thing.
Honestly, it was my favorite pandemic purchase. It was $114.
Well
it's
worth
hard as a it's well worth it. It's hard as a motherfucker, and like sometimes I prance around the house wearing it.
You know what? I would too. Do you ever like bum rush Vicky with it? Like, bah, get out of my way.
She doesn't like it when I do stuff like that.
Oh God. All right.
If I pop out and scare her, if I
She doesn't like it.
She doesn't like it. No, so that's
All right, boys and girls. Oh, what is going on here? Do you see the video right now? Look at the video. You don't see that, right?
matter.
You move the shit over, and I can't see the screen now. Can you do me a favor? Just move me here. Move me here. There you go. Thank you. And then take this and then put it there. Thank you. Okay, there we go. Oh God. You know what I want? I want an Ilio's pizza. You want to go to an Ilio's pizza?
Holy shit! Is that how you say it? Elios?
Isn't it Ilios?
I thought it was Elios.
Ilios.
Elios, not Ilios.
Ilios.
Elios.
Elios.
Disgusting. Elio pizza. Yeah,
disgusting.
Nasty. That's what schools had every Friday, right?
That's what schools had every Friday. Yep. All right.
That Elio pizza drip.
All right, let me get the notes here and see what's going on. My son is sick, so I may need to run out for like a second.
To yell at him, right?
What?
To yell at him.
To yell at him. How dare you?
Why are you sick? How dare you? How dare you? This is a germ-free house.
That's what I tell Jess all the time. All right.
Don't be bringing any germs into this house.
All right. Are we're ready?
Yeah. I'm ready.
All right. Okay, boys and girls. There we go. When is X-Men 97 coming out?
X-Men 97.
Yeah.
I think it came out. The comic. I think it came out already.
No, not the comic. The cartoon.
Oh, I'm not sure.
It's this year.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's 2023, but I don't know when it's coming. I hope they don't ruin it. In fall 2023. It's fall 2023 on Disney Plus.
If they're keeping the tradition, I'm looking forward to it. But you know the story of the original show, right? Like how like the animation dipped because they
took it to
animators.
like the Philippines. Yeah, they took it. What was it? They moved it to the Philippines, the animation, and it like nothing looked right.
Yeah, it just everything looked really off. Nothing was colored properly. Nothing was like animated properly. It's very fascinating.
What is happening?
What happened?
Who's pressing the buttons?
I think it's MG. It's the ghost of MG Geek.
All right. I'm ready to start. Please don't press any more buttons. Thank you. All right. We'll begin in 3, 2, and 1. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Andrew Zarian. I'm joined by the originator of the House of Black, Rich Stambolian. You just don't turn the lights on.
No, not at all. I want to do full makeup like that guy, and that he's got like that skull mask and everything. You know, I have nothing funny to say about that. I just think that's cool.
All right, I think it's cool too. What's going on?
Not much, man. How you doing? Nice and rainy day today in New York.
Yeah, very much a soggy, rainy day here in New York. Last night too. Yesterday sucked too, the weather, but it's been warm. My hips hurting me. My arthritis has kicked in. Everything hurts right now for me.
You're the oldest 38-year-old I've ever met in my life.
Dude, everything's broken. Everything is broken.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
You weren't always like this.
No. The last, 5 years, everything kind of fell apart. Well, I fractured my freaking hip. I've had, you know when it happened? When I herniated my back. I got 4 ruptured discs in my back. So that kind of started the problem. And then everything else started to go.
You need the chart. Like if you ever read that first Mick Foley book where he's got the chart of his body with all his abrasions and fractures and all that stuff.
Yeah. What was the name of that first one? What was the name of the first? Was it
Have a Nice Day?
Have a Nice Day was the first one, right? What was the second one?
Ooh. Was it Cheap Pops? No,
I think that was the later one.
There was Countdown to Lockdown. The first one was Countdown to Lockdown was the TNA one, which was really good. The first one was Have a Nice Day. I think the second one like
Foley
Cheap
is
Pops
good. Foley is good.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. All good books. Even his baseball book was good.
I think a lot of people were surprised that he was such an articulate guy. You know?
Yeah.
He's like a very likable, normal, articulate guy, and he presented himself as this monster. You know, this gross.
Exactly. I waited. When Have a Nice Day came out, I waited in line at Major Dodge in Long Island City for 3 hours. Of all places, this guy did a signing at Major Dodge. This shows you how weird wrestling was in the late 90s. At Major
car
Dodge,
dealership, Major Dodge. Car dealership.
Car dealership for 3 hours for him to sign my Have a Nice Day. And I was like, I hope you beat Triple H at the Rumble this weekend, dude. Love you.
Did he also tell you he won't do your stupid podcast?
Yeah, I was like, by the way, 20 years from now, I'm going to have a podcast. He's like, save your breath, kid. It's not going to happen.
Let's go into some news. Unfortunately, some sad news. Jarrett, legendary professional wrestling promoter, Jeff Jarrett's father, passes away at the age of 80. Had been battling cancer of the esophagus and passed away undergoing treatment. He started Continental Wrestling and essentially ran the Memphis territory. Very sad news. And, he became a meme later on in life, thanks to Conrad Thompson and Bruce Pritchard with the Jerry Jarrett voice and the chicken salad story.
Yes.
Very interesting story. He went to WWE when Vince was, I guess, being indicted by the government. He was there helping out. Didn't go too great for him over there. He left, but really, he created the blueprint for modern wrestling television with what Continental was doing and what they did in Memphis. Also, in Texas, the Von Erichs also with their presentation was really changed the way that wrestling is perceived on television. Jeff Jarrett appeared on Dynamite, vowing to push forward. I was actually surprised to see Jeff on there, and they didn't change anything. But Jerry Jarrett, very important figure in pro wrestling, right?
Absolutely. Very interesting. Kudos to Jeff Jarrett for showing up on Dynamite and also letting the Acclaim cut that promo on him too, like the rap towards the ring, which was great. And it's like those little moments of wrestling where I'm sure backstage there was a chat and Jeff Jarrett was like, yeah, dude, like don't go too hard. Like my dad just died, but I was hanging out with a very close friend the other day, and when I heard the news, and then that person went, I didn't know Jeff Jarrett had a dad.
That's what somebody said?
Yeah, and then I went, what do you mean? And they were like, no, I meant a famous dad.
A famous dad in pro wrestling. Yeah, dude,
everybody's got a dad.
Continental was a huge I was listening to Dave this morning, and I think I don't know if people really know the story of Memphis wrestling. There was a documentary years ago that I saw called Memphis Heat, which I thought was really good for the time that it came out. I don't know if it holds up today. I haven't seen it in God knows how many years, but the story of Memphis and how these guys were able to get essentially 20% of the market to watch their show. They were on an NBC affiliate in Memphis, and this thing was one of the hottest television products, of all time.
Oh, forget it, man. It seemed like the Wild West.
It seemed like the Wild West. Also, the fact, Jerry Lawler was really the king of Memphis. I don't think, man. Yeah, I don't think people realize how important Memphis wrestling was to that region. Continental was founded in 1977, and it continued on. I mean, the Memphis run continued on till the 90s. Just really fascinating characters. Austin Idol, Dutch Mantel,
start of Macho Man,
Fargo, start of Macho Man. I mean, there was a lot of people that came through that territory, and it was beneficial. And then it turned into a WWE developmental territory later on.
Oh, yeah.
You
know what?
Always interesting.
I bet you MG Geek is eating his hat right now because I know he's a big Memphis wrestling fan, and for some reason his audio is not working, so he's probably just yelling into the ether right now.
Yeah. Dave D in the chat room says, Andrew, a.k.a. my Propecia Poppy. I am the Propecia Poppy.
You are. You crush them up and put them into your smoothies, right?
Here you go. I am the Propecia Poppy.
There you go.
Lifesaver. Saved my life.
Did it really?
It did. Saved my hair.
Did somebody hold a gun to your head and say,
said,
if you don't take these hair pills,
they said if you lose your hair, you're done. And I was like,
you're
crap.
done.
I had to save it. I had to save my hair.
There is that bald meme of you going around the internet, though.
There was. Terrible.
Did you have it scrubbed?
I had it scrubbed. I called my lawyers. I said, don't you dare do this to me. They've discovered that I wear a wig. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But, Jeff Jarrett was on Dynamite. Dave has a great obituary in The Observer this week. I highly, highly recommend you check it out about Jerry Jarrett and his entire career and lifespan. Very, very well done. I'm almost done with it this morning, which is, it takes me a couple days to read The Observer because they're like 100,000 words,
Gotta hand it to the guy, say what you want about
machine.
Dave Meltzer, but that guy just cranks out the wrestling knowledge.
He's a machine. Per Tony Khan via Sports Illustrated, Ring of Honor will begin airing weekly television starting March 2nd on ROH streaming service Honor Club.
Awesome.
This just happens to be the date he bought Ring of Honor last year, which is interesting. So there's a lot to this. Do you want my opinion on this?
No.
I don't expect Ring of Honor. No? Okay, fine. Whatever. All right, next subject. Next topic. Next topic. I won't say it. I was going to give a scoop. Nobody cares. Huge scoop.
Please, Andrew, talk about Ring of Honor.
Nope. Not talking about it. You prevented me. No. You stopped me from saying something I wasn't supposed to, which was very helpful. Yeah. I would say I'm making someone sweat right now by my pauses.
Oh, really?
I would say that I don't expect this to be where it continues streaming for the remainder of the year.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting. Go ahead.
I would say that this is a temporary solution to get the product going.
So this is a Band-Aid basically until the real happens.
Yeah, listen, I unfortunately they're in a contract year, and you're not going to give the person you're negotiating with this show before you talk about the contract. There's multiple steps here. One is a streaming deal for AEW in general, right? They have enough content right now to build a streaming platform, whether that's piggybacked on HBO Max. I mean, now we know what's going on with Discovery and HBO Max, and that's also hindered the deal.
Now, if you could elaborate more for those who are listening and or watching, when you say contract year, can you explain what that means?
Yes. The deal's expiring for their TV deal, so Tony wants a lot more money than he's getting. They did outperform what the original expectation of the product was, double. So I would say that if the merger had not happened, we would have gotten more word for what the future of AEW is on TV for Turner. But I can say I don't see AEW going away. I know that the relationship is very strong. Maybe the best that it's been, even though that the ratings have not been great and the TV, they're having some issues right now. But I expect more AEW within Turner Properties.
They're gonna crank it up.
Yeah, I listen, man. You have a first-run sports program that's doing well for you, that gets you around 1 million views. Let's 200,000 plus or minus whatever, but overall, plus DVR plus 3, you're getting over 1 million viewers a week for your product. Turner. I keep saying Turner. You default to Turner always. Turner's really happy with this, and I know that they want more content. So, this is how Rampage happened. They saw the success of Dynamite. They wanted to add another hour. Tony was adamant to not do another hour. So they got Rampage. We'll see what happens. I mean, they have a lot of options here right now with the TV deal. And Ring of Honor, they have to get that on TV. It is a debt promotion if they're just sitting in Honor Club and they're just streaming online and they put it on YouTube. You don't want that. You don't want that because that's also going to expose the product for being weaker than it actually is. We know how digital numbers translate from linear programming to digital. It never translates the same. It's not an equal split. If the NFL only went digital tomorrow, you would not get the same viewership numbers that you do with linear television, even though more people have access to it online.
Right. This is also like, I think people are a little anxious and very impatient with this Ring of Honor stuff. Like it's very much like it's almost like the McRib, where you want it to happen and it's gonna happen and you got to be patient with it because do you not want it done the right way? It's great. Yes, there is going to be, there's a lot of wrestling on TV, number one. Number two, there's going to be more, right? Why not be patient and just wait to see what happens and then let this Ring of Honor thing play out because, Tony Khan has a great track record of delivering, and I think obviously the networks know that.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I mean, this is all, I expect some news to start trickling over the next couple months. Oh, talking about news.
Going to be the go ahead.
Talking about news. Did you PCO is going to be the new champion? Is that the news? Did you see the video game news?
The video game news for Fight Forever?
Yeah.
I did not actually. Can you please explain it to me?
They will be releasing second quarter.
Second quarter 2023.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. How about you?
I'm excited too. I'm hoping that the gameplay lives up to what people are saying, because the people that have had their chance to play with this are very pleased with it. But I don't know how good the game is going to end up looking. I don't know because listen, everybody has a high expectation because WWE is a simulation game. The graphics are unbelievable, and this is more cartoonish.
Yeah, I think with any game that has come out in the last 5 years, you could always patch it to fix it. Like when Street Fighter V came out, it was torn apart by critics in the first 6 months of the release because it was an incomplete game. I think they're doing their best to have this as a complete game. Patches will always fix stuff. DLC will always add to it, and plus it'll more than likely be on a streaming within a year. Like I have a PS Plus membership, which I do talk about ad nauseum with my friends because it's awesome. $60 a year. You pretty much get any first run game within 6 months of release, or 8 months, So if you're patient, you'll if you're a gamer and you're patient, you will get it eventually in some form or fashion. I think me personally, the days of me ordering a game on the first day or getting a game on the first day are kind of out the window. It's very much like a wait and see. Like, do I need to spend $70 on this game right now? And for it to be a dud, a little hesitant,
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I'm going to listen. Here's my other thing, right? I'm going to get a PS5 this year.
Yeah.
Because Hunter wants one. And I'm like, let's get it, So I also need to get a new TV now for the living room if I'm putting the PS5 in the living room. You know, like in my mind, I'm okay, now, and all I want to do is play that game. So do I just get it for that game? And then what if I'm disappointed? I'm gonna be pissed off. So.
Well, there's tons of other amazing, especially if you get like a 4 or 8K TV and you have your PS5 connected to it, man, forget it. You know what? You'll get sucked in. You'll be stuck on your couch. You'll give up your job, and you'll just play video games all day.
The Northern District of California, U.S. District Court, has granted WWE to request to dismiss the antitrust lawsuit MLW filed against them in January 2022. Essentially, the judge said that MLW didn't present a strong enough case that WWE is a monopoly. And they have 20 days or so to, I guess, counter this. But I think this is a done case now. This all has to do with the Tubi deal, if you guys remember. They were supposed to get a deal with Tubi, and according to MLW, WWE prevented that from happening. Which I don't know why WWE would even give a shit that there's MLW on Tubi, right? Isn't that a weird thing to kind of like to do?
So again, for the litigious layman like myself, MLW filed a suit against WWE basically saying, like, hey, you're monopolizing wrestling.
Essentially, yeah. But, I mean, there's not a good case for that now. Like, this is, like, the worst time to present that case.
Right.
There's so much wrestling on TV.
There's a lot of wrestling. Exactly. Like, so, like, if AEW did not exist, would they have more of a shot?
If AEW didn't exist and they built a strong case that, like, yeah, they did block us from getting this deal, yeah, I would say so.
Interesting.
I would say so. So, very interesting. Tony Khan also announced that Mark Briscoe is all elite. He'll be in AEW and Ring of Honor. This was announced after his match on Dynamite. Jay White, Eddie Kingston, loser leaves town match. Loser leaves NJPW match. Stipulation was added to the battle in the Valley. They cut an angle on Wrestling Observer Live on Thursday, while Suncast was producing that show, and all hell went. I mean, it was insane. And Suncast is messaging me, I've lost control of the show. These lunatics are fighting. he was DMing me. He's like, I've lost all control. I've lost all control.
He should have just unplugged it.
He should have just unplugged it.
That's it. But you know what? This is going to be fun. Who knows what's going to happen? The Jay White thing is fascinating because you don't know where the guy is going to end up. I do feel like the story has already been told to us.
Yeah.
But it's still fun. You know what I mean? It's like when you kind of know the ending of a book, but you're also like, I'll read the book anyway. Who cares?
Yeah. Who cares?
Like, you know how The Hobbit ends. Like, I've read The Hobbit a million times.
How does it end? They all hold hands and dance. That's how it ends.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they all grow. Did you know that?
they become real boys.
They become real boys in the end. All right, what else do we have, Rich?
Let's see. Do you want to go into Raw highlights? I know we're on like a little bit of a time limit here today.
We are. Unfortunately.
Or do you want to go into Dynamite?
Let's go into Dynamite.
Do you want to talk about the build to Revolution or Elimination Chamber, which is this weekend?
Let's do Elimination Chamber.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's take a look here. Elimination Chamber is happening this Saturday. I'm a big fan of these Saturday events.
I love the Saturday pay-per-views. I love all Saturday pay-per-views, and we have two on Saturday, right? Because we have Elimination Chamber, and then Battle in the Valley is at 10 o'clock.
Very excited for that. Yeah. Now, I was talking about this the other day, and somebody asked me, they were like, is there still pay-per-views, right?
Yeah.
And I said, yes, in a way. Like, you could still order a WWE pay-per-view on TV and pay $50, or you can just subscribe to Peacock with no commercials for $5 a month. This is not a plug for Peacock, but that's how much it costs, right? $5 a month.
I paid a $10. I don't want the commercials.
And they're called PLEs, right? Premium live events. I feel like if you have Peacock, they should just be called It's a Just There. Because when you turn it on,
it's just there.
It's just there.
You know what?
Like,
I like that.
You don't have to do anything special. It's just there. Like, boom. Elimination Chamber. I'm excited, man. Like Saturday pay-per-views make me really excited for Sunday. You know?
Yeah, because you don't have to wait. You know why? Because it's like a night that you're hanging out. And listen,
exactly.
When I was a kid, and all of us, we would stay up till 11 watching those pay-per-views. Easy. We would stay up till 11 watching Raw. I have such difficulty to do that.
Yeah, man. Like, listen, you know me, 9:30, 10 o'clock. That's my bedtime, baby. That's the sweet spot. So
yeah.
I'll probably fall asleep on the couch watching Elimination Chamber with like a Diet Coke in my hand or something.
Love it. And then you pick it up where you left off. It's easy now.
You know what? That's also kind of the best because I know I'll fall asleep. And then I don't fall asleep during the big ones. Like Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam, I'm awake. Elimination Chamber, listen, a little bit of a shoulder shrugger, I'll be honest with you. The event looks good. So we're getting Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley.
Okay, cool.
That's going to be cool, right?
Yeah. I'm into like that. In Canada. So listen, this show, this may be one of the best ones that they've done. And the weird part is nobody gives a crap about the Elimination Chamber matches. The gimmick that the pay-per-view is, no one cares about.
Right. I think, again, it's like, it's that weird WWE thing where like they take the heat off of the names of the pay-per-view, you know, like Extreme Rules, who gives a shit, you know? It's just, it's a placeholder name at this point, right?
It's a placeholder, yeah.
Even though that structure is magnificent in the Elimination Chamber. Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. Like you said, Canadian crowd, they're in Montreal. I think they're going to go effing wild for Edge. And if they to protect Edge, if they recreate some kind of like Rock Hogan start to the match, I think that would be great. And let Rhea and Beth do most of the work.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be really cool. They're going to get a huge pop. People are going to be really into this. It'll be great. You got the Women's Elimination Chamber match for the right to face Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. You got Raquel Rodriguez, Nikki Cross, Liv Morgan, Asuka, Natty, and Carmella. Who should it be?
WrestleMania opponent. Oh, man. Do you go Liv Morgan or do you go Raquel Rodriguez? I feel like Raquel Rodriguez would be fantastic. I want to see her hold that belt.
Raquel would be great. Liv, you could do something with Asuka, and they could have a crazy great match. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Does Natalya get one last run?
Does Natty get a WrestleMania moment? I don't know. I'm either Liv. I think Liv should be the one, right? Or Asuka. I mean, those are the two that really stand out to me.
I'm gonna go Raquel Rodriguez.
Okay.
I think she gets her WrestleMania moment.
Very cool.
Because she's there. Bianca Belair and Raquel Rodriguez are their presence is so dynamic, and I think that would just be like a big, hard hitting, like they're very strong and muscular ladies. You know, that's an attraction.
Yeah.
I think, right?
Definitely.
There, you know,
definitely. Elimination Chamber match for the United States Championship. You got Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, and Montez Ford. I wonder if Logan Paul interferes and costs Seth the title. He could do something there. Who do you think takes Austin retains? I think Damian Priest should win this title. Montez Ford could win the title. I think it would be great for him to have a singles run.
I think, you know what? Here's like a little train of thought here, right? Put that title on Montez so he can come out with Bianca Belair, you know, because they do the Seth and Becky thing. Why not and they're doing Edge and Beth Phoenix. Why not do Montez and Bianca? I have two champions. I'm going Montez on this one.
Perfect. I like Montez to win this, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about this. And the main story here, the big match here, undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns facing Sami Zayn in Montreal. Sami's the hottest thing that they have right now.
Good God.
This is going to be difficult. You gotta keep the focus on Cody for WrestleMania. Sami most likely is not winning unless there's some crazy swerve that they do.
Mm-hmm.
Can Sami win and and then he loses the title afterwards? They could do anything. How do you make people happy with the ending here? I don't know if you're going to be able to.
Oh, this has got to be a dream for booking, right? A dream and a nightmare, because your dream is the unbelievable pop that Sami Zayn is going to get, right? Now, imagine the boos. Imagine the heat when Sami loses, right? It'll break the building.
It would break the building.
And that's kind of what you want, right? That's what you want as a writer or a booker, right? You want the extreme cheers for when this guy comes out, and then those boos, man. I think the boos for him losing would outweigh the cheers for him winning, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends how that building is feeling and how much they're feeling Cody. Like what I think they the most simplest of booking is Jey Uso somehow gets involved. They all start beating on Sami. Here comes Kevin for the save, because obviously Kevin has to be around. Kevin gets beat down, and here comes Cody for the big save, and you finally get, he does something to Roman, and he saves Sami and Kevin, and they do these 3-on-3s leading up to WrestleMania, and then they have their title shot. That would be the simplest of bookings. I don't know if they're going to go that way, but you got to do it in a way that's not going to get Cody, in trouble.
Well, I think the way to do it is exactly what you said, except my tweak would be Sami gets the beatdown, right? Cody comes out to save him. Cody gets the pop, right?
Yeah.
Roman, immediate Superman punch. The sucker punches Cody. Cody's out, right? They're continuing to beat down Sami, and out comes KO. And him and Sami get the pops of the night to end the show. KO saves Sami, and that's how you get to the tag match at Mania. And it still protects Cody.
Yeah, still protects Cody.
And then you want those trios matches, right?
Yeah, you're going to get a bunch of those, which I'm cool with. Very cool with.
Yeah, absolutely.
AEW Dynamite. We're doing a quick show, guys. I have a crazy, terrible long day today, so I wish I could hang out here till noon, but I can't. So we got about 20 minutes here. Less than that, 15. Dynamite recap. I did not like Dynamite this week.
You know what? It was okay. I saw a few people on social media put out that this was the worst Dynamite since the pandemic era. And you know what? It happens, right? It was a good show. It was okay. It was okay.
Right. It was fine.
Right.
Listen,
the MJF stuff was the highlight for me, I think.
The MJF stuff was the highlight. I would say that was a highlight for sure. You're right. That was the highlight. What else stood out to you? The Wardlow interview was great with Jim Ross.
You know
that
what?
was a really good job.
Maybe I was just in a weird mood. I wasn't feeling it.
I listen, man. Sometimes it happens. You don't expect a great show every week. Christian Cage came back, so you got the match with Jungle Boy now. They did a bunch of stuff here, and nothing really clicked for me. And I could have been in a mood. Maybe it was me, but I saw a lot of other people were not really happy. Claudio and John Moxley defeated Roosh and Preston Vance in a Texas Tornado match. People were bleeding. You had the Acclaimed come out to start the show with Orange Cassidy. I mean, it was fine. It was an okay show.
Now I wasn't
feeling it. I didn't love it.
I want to pose a question, perhaps like philosophy or anything. And this is not us poo-pooing on anything, but you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
We've talked about this a million times on the show, right? And I do think it's perception where the Bloodline storyline and a few things that when WWE is backed into a corner and they need to do big wrestling, they kind of do it the best. Do you think with all that pomp and circumstance with the Bloodline going into WrestleMania, is that overshadowing as a wrestling fan, is that overshadowing Dynamite? Does it take you out of AEW a little bit, and even New Japan? Does it take you out of these other franchises where you are taking a step back and going, you know what? I'm not really feeling this right now. I'm feeling this, but not this.
Yeah, I would definitely say that WWE getting hot and being in WrestleMania season has hurt AEW right now.
Perception-wise,
yeah. And I think AEW needs, listen, man, AEW needs a really top star leading it. And, Kenny Omega was supposed to be the guy, but he's in a trio. CM Punk was supposed to be the guy, but he's, He
Also in
lost
a
his
trios.
mind. He's also in something. I don't know what's going on. They are trying, but they don't have the attraction
lost
to
his
tune
mind.
into. He lost his mind. But
Yeah.
they don't have an attraction to tune into. WWE has a bunch of those. So they're going to be fine. They just have to kind of get through this next couple of weeks. Lack of
It's
build,
really
by the way,
interesting.
to Revolution. You're going into a pay-per-view and the numbers are going down. WrestleTix said AEW Revolution is still in danger of not selling out as they have 3,000 tickets still available. The current capacity is 9,826 and they've only distributed 6,800. For a pay-per-view, This would be pretty low. AEW did 824,000 viewers on Wednesday, the lowest viewership of 2023. And they also announced the card for the pay-per-view. AEW World Champion MJF facing Bryan Danielson in a 60-minute Iron Man match. The Guns versus the Acclaim versus to be announced.
Great.
Samoa Joe Wardlow for the TNT Championship. Texas Deathmatch, Hangman, and versus Jon Moxley. Has this build been lackluster? Maybe a little, yeah.
You got 2 more weeks until the show, right? I think they can do some like really banger stuff in the next couple of weeks. Also, like here's the thing. Like, so there's a lot of chatter on social media has been coming out where I don't want to say folks are turning on Dynamite or AEW, but there's a lot of talks of like diehard fans going, hey, what if they need like a writing staff or blah, 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 this and that. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I do think, yes, there's a certain crowd they're appealing to, and they're appealing to like that purist wrestling fan in a lot of regards. Me personally, and this is my opinion, I want to see like banana shit that hooks me every week. You know what I want to see? I want to see Hangman go nuts and kidnap Renee.
Right? Is that what you want?
I want that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Where it's not just...
I get what you mean, yeah.
Like where it's not just the backstage vignettes and the promos. I want the outside the wrestling stuff vignettes.
Listen,
where
you're gonna get crap for that, but I agree with you.
I'm not promoting the kidnapping of a woman, but I'm saying like in terms of like
you are. I get it.
You want like banana stuff. I feel like the closest you kind of get with that is like the Samoa Joe promos on Darby Allin. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
like that kind of stuff. But again, that's just me. I think you can't really push it too far to that regard. And I'm not saying I want the Attitude Era back or anything like that, but like something that really catches the eye in that regard, where you're like, holy shit, I gotta tune into this. The MJF stuff is the closest we get. And him paying people off, you know?
Yeah, no, listen, man, I do think that they need a little bit of storytelling. And there's a ton of storytelling in matches and grudge matches and, challenges. There's that, but they don't really do the soap opera level stuff. And, there is a segment of the fan base that really enjoys that stuff. And you need to cater to them also. I love the wrestling. That's what I like. That's why I tune into AEW. I like really good wrestling. But I also understand that not everybody thinks like me. Not everybody wants to see a 25-minute, mat wrestling match. They want to see some soap opera-driven stuff. And, you want to be sitting well over 1 million weekly. You're going to have to incorporate some of that. And you could do it well. You don't have to do it WWE's way. You could do it really well.
Right. Absolutely. Do you think this 60-minute Iron Man match is kind of going to be a litmus test going forward, like to see what the reception is?
Yeah.
This is the first time they're doing this. This is like a 60-minute Iron Man match. This is like a dream for a performer. And I get for a crowd, if you love pure wrestling, I'm like, you and I are very much looking forward to this match.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, big time.
But I do think in a certain regard, this has to be a litmus test to say, like, do we have the capacity as a production company to put on something eye-grabbing for 60 minutes?
We're going to find out. We'll find out. New Japan Battle in the Valley card. Mascara Dorada, Josh Alexander, Adrian Quest, Rocky Romero versus Kushida, Kevin Knight, Volador Jr., and the DKC. Filthy Rules match. Filthy Tom Lawler versus Homicide. has no ropes. That's what a filthy
No
match
ropes.
is.
I like
Eddie
that.
Kingston
No
versus
ropes.
Jay White in a loser leaves NJPW match. New Japan World Television Championship. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Clark Connors. New Japan Strong Tag Team Champions. Motor City Machine Guns versus World Class Wrecking Crew. You also have the NJPW Strong Openweight Championship. Fred Rosser versus Kenta. Double main event here. Kazuchika Okada versus Tanahashi. And you also have IWGP Women's Champion Kairi versus Mercedes Moné.
Also very like underpushed. I feel like this should have been pushed more because of the Mercedes money like appearance.
Yeah.
You know. And I know I think Okada handpicked Tanahashi for this one, right? Storyline wise.
Yeah. Very cool. All right, I got like 5 minutes here. Do we want to do questions very quickly?
Let's take a couple of questions here. Guys, if you want to super chat us, feel free. We will answer your questions ASAP. We have about 5-6 minutes, and let's get started. This is from Daylon. I think I pronounced his name right for once. Great to see you guys. Spent a couple of weeks in Cuba. Good to be back. Very excited. Gonna be at SmackDown tonight and Chamber tomorrow. The crowd will be insane.
It's going to be a great crowd. I expect
think
it
so,
to be an
man.
unbelievable crowd. Yeah. I think we know some people that are going to the show, right? Joel Pearl is going to be there.
I think Joel Pearl is actually going to be interviewing a few people.
Nice. Awesome.
This is from Pedrito8777. Yet you didn't like Wardlow's hair promo. How did you feel about that? You were like, "Ooh, a promo about hair."
I love that. No, I loved. I didn't say I didn't like the hair promo. I liked the hair promo. He spoke about how important the ponytail was to him. I could understand. I have a deep understanding towards people's connection with their hair. Does it make you
want to grow your hair like super long?
It was. Remember, I had it down here.
I want it longer. I want it down to your nips.
Oh, okay. I'll do. You want me to grow it down to my nips? I'll do it.
I want it to grow your hair down to your wet nips.
Yeah, I'll do it.
This is from Kermac, $10, man. Sup, my Matt babies. Andrew, I heard the discomfort in your voice last week about SummerSlam being here in Detroit. You guys would love it downtown. Cheap drinks and amazing food. I agree with you.
I like Detroit. I don't want to see MG. That's the problem.
One of our, you don't want to see one of the people that help us make the show. You don't.
Yeah, I don't want to see him. The guy that I talk to daily. I don't want to see him.
The guy you're on a group chat with 24 hours a day.
Yeah. No, I think it's cool. Ford Field is a good building.
We got one here from Cadillac Carson. Do you think FTR is coming back in the Battle Royal?
I would hope that they come back soon.
Yeah.
I would hope so. They're fantastic.
I think so.
They're one of my favorite teams.
I think they got to work it out. I feel like they're taking like a quick little break to assess the situation because they've had a million dream matches in the last year and a half, right?
Yeah. Listen, man, they've worked really hard. They need a little break too.
Yeah, you know, like you got to take a step back sometimes.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is from Balor Club. TGIF, Andrew and Rich, what are your guys' thoughts on if Sammy did defeat Roman tomorrow and at WrestleMania 39, it's Sammy versus Roman versus Cody in a 2 out of 3 falls? First fall, Roman pins Sammy. Second fall, Cody pins Roman, and they split the titles. I like that idea.
That's actually not a terrible idea. That is not a terrible idea. Yeah, that is not a terrible idea. I just don't want to see a triple threat because I don't see... I guess people could be happy then. I guess.
One champ on Raw, one champ on SmackDown. I do like that idea. Good job, Bachelor Cup guy.
I want to see a singles. I just want to see a singles for the titles, and that's it. But if you are going to do something to make people happy, that would be the way to do it. Good job on that.
Yeah, great job on that. This is from buddy Kyle Masters. Any news on this major signing WWE has their eyes on that is not Jay White, supposedly?
Yeah, I saw that. I have no idea. The first I saw was Dave's report. I could dig. I know that they very much like Jay White. he's someone that would. But who's available? That's a major signing this year that they would want to sign.
Yeah, it's got to be. Let's say maybe somebody from AEW, possibly whose contract was up that we didn't know about.
I mean, major signing. Kenny Omega's a major signing. The Young Bucks are a major signing. Moxley would be a major signing. Jericho would be a major signing. I mean, you know, I don't know what they mean by the major signing, but interesting.
Imagine if it is the Young Bucks.
Imagine it is the Young Bucks. That would be unbelievable.
Well, here, this is a question from Pro Wrestling Joe. Do you know if the Young Bucks are re-signing with AEW? SRS reported they were in talks some months ago.
That's all I have too. Yeah, that's his report was the only one that I know.
You know, wouldn't it be fascinating? I could totally see them relinquishing their positions as EVPs. Yeah, because like when you're like Cody said, man, when you're on the business side of it, it gets real.
Yeah, I love that stuff. All right, let's do one more.
Do you want to do one more?
Yeah, one more.
Let's do two. One quick one, two quick ones.
Okay. All right.
This is from Mr. NXT. Where is Cameron Grimes?
I don't know. That's a good question. You should know, Mr. NXT. That is a good question. I don't know. Is he hurt?
You were Mr. NXT. Didn't he show up on Raw? Or maybe I'm wrong about that.
No, I don't think so.
This one's from Colonel Stutters. Could you see the Roman bloodline story extending through SummerSlam?
Yes, I can, actually. I don't think it's the end of that story after WrestleMania. I think that they have to continue it until it's not drawn anymore. And Roman losing would not be the end of the story. I think it's just another pivotal point in the story. They have this thing down. I don't know how it ends, but they've done a magnificent job at it.
Oh yeah like for real
stuff. Yeah,
you know, but also like, you know, they do a good job with this stuff, and historically this is about the cusp of where they should end it, right? Like it's close to being the end of the bloodline. Like within the next year we're gonna see the end of it.
Yeah. Within,
but
probably by SummerSlam.
But do you get that reunion pop
with Sammy and Roman? Maybe one day. Maybe one day. All right, we got to wrap it up. I need to go to the train. I got 4 minutes. All right, guys.
All right.
Very quick. I'm so sorry. Today was one of those days. We'll be back next week. See you later.
Later.
All right, I got to run out. Sorry.
All right, goodbye.